Hey there, fellow dudes. Parker back with another trailer reaction, and today we have Becky joining us.
Hey.
Just going to use our little lav mic and hold it and go back and forth. We didn't want to set up the whole caboodle. Caboodle. So we are reacting to the new Ahsoka trailer that just dropped a couple hours ago. I actually have a buddy who worked on this show. He's kind of gotten himself plugged into all of the Star Wars stuff out in LA, so I'm gonna have to give him a ring after this and have him give me a little some spoilers, even though he probably signed an NDA, because that's what we do in the film industry.
Yeah, I don't think you're getting anything from him.
Should we just jump into this trailer? Do you want to say anything, or do you just want to watch?
Let's just go for it.
That's what people are here for, right? They're here for reactions. They're not here for talking.
I'm not here for Parker's ramblings.
Exactly. All right, here we go.
War is inevitable. One must destroy in order to create.
Inquisitors, maybe?
We are no Jedi.
Ooh, I like this score.
I started hearing whispers of Thawne's return as heir to
Thrawn.
the Empire.
This is a Rebels character from the
What happens when
cartoon.
you find
I don't know much because I didn't watch Rebels.
Such as you've never dreamed.
She looks cool.
I've spent most of my life fighting a war. That's why I'm trying to convince you to help me.
So she is
prevent
also in the
another
Rebels cartoon. So there's
war. You and
I
both
think
know who could help you with this.
Dave Filoni came out and said that this is going to be
She's
kind of
still
like
just as
season
stubborn
5
as
of
ever.
Rebels.
I bet your master found you difficult at times.
Anakin never got to finish my training.
Ooh,
I walked
Anakin
away
name
from her,
drop.
Just like I walked away from Sabine.
You never made things easy for me.
Honestly, the visuals look pretty good,
They do, yeah.
which is sometimes a hit or miss with these Star Wars shows.
Sometimes you have to make the decision no one else can.
Feels like they really
But I'm
took their
counting
time
on you
with
to
this
see
one.
through.
Nice
Mandalorian.
haircut.
August 23rd. I love her lightsabers.
Sometimes we have to do what's right, regardless
that's
of our
Ezra.
personal feelings.
Character you don't know. Oh, those are the those space whales that
If we don't
go
stop
through
Thrawn,
hyperspace.
And
everything
large,
will be
and
in
he's
vain.
blue.
That's
He kind of
Thawne.
looks like Elon Musk.
That's
a little
Thawne.
bit.
That's Thawne.
Anakin spoke highly of you.
Looks like a lot of really big
Here to
set
discuss my
pieces.
past.
Oh,
have a lot of work to do.
new
Once a
droid.
rebel, always a
Friendly
rebel.
neighborhood sidekick droid.
Gotta have one in every Star Wars show. He's actually kind of creepy looking though.
He is, yeah.
Oh, that's sick. Ooh.
Didn't somebody have one of those? 2 episodes.
2 episodes. Oh my. All right. Initial thoughts, reactions. What do you think?
It looks good. I love the character of Ahsoka, so I'm hoping that gives us a good place to start. She's a very strong character.
It's always interesting seeing a character transition from animation to live action, and I feel like that's not always done that well. But Star Wars has done a very good job of transitioning her into the live action realm.
It felt very seamless because we watched Clone Wars that she's in the animation pretty close to when she shows up in The Mandalorian. Like, I feel like we were watching around the same time, and it didn't feel like a different version of this character. It just felt like the character continued.
Definitely a grown up and more mature version, but even by the end of Clone Wars, she had grown up and become a lot more mature than where she was
For sure.
at the early parts of that season. And yeah, Rosie O'Donnell as her, she's just she feels like a scene stealer. There's a presence about her in this role that just like it works.
Yeah, and she can do it without like having a character that's like, she's not extremely expressive, doesn't have like great dramatic expressions on her faces or anything. But she's still so strong, and like you can't not look at her. And I think it's an obvious choice for a lead character of their own show.
I think this movie or the show also gives feels of like getting the band back together, and it seems like it's a very female-centered show. At least all of the characters that Ahsoka is going around gathering are female characters.
Love that.
Love that for you too.
Besides Ahsoka, I think the show itself is intriguing. Like you said, there's big set pieces. It feels almost more action-y than some of the stuff we've gotten recently from the Star Wars IP. I feel like this feels a little more action-y. There's the one girl like driving fast on some kind of like motorcycle style vehicle. We've got all the ships, so it feels very much still that like science sci-fi, but with some action to it, which I feel like is something we've kind of missed in some of the more recent ones. Like, they still feel like Star Wars, they just feel a little slower.
Yeah. I think this show, at least from the trailer standpoint, seems to have like a strong sense of direction. One of the big downfalls of Mandalorian Season 3, I felt like it was just kind of all over the place. There was no consistency with it. With this, in the trailer, it seems like, Ahsoka's looking for Ezra. Thawne is the villain that's rising up from the ashes, and they need to stop him. She's getting the band back together to help do that. And that's kind of the basic plot. And I don't think it's going to deviate too much from that. I think we're going to get a pretty straightforward narrative, which I think Star Wars needs to do, because after The Mandalorian Season 3, it's just it's rocky.
Yeah, I feel like it looks like there's a tight, strong story, and there's a plot, and they know the end goal of what they're creating, which I feel like helps with the viewing experience versus some of the more recent Star Wars projects and shows that we've gotten. Felt kind of flat, like didn't know where it was going, didn't feel like it really went anywhere. Like, that's how I felt about the Boba Fett show. So this looks like there's a little more clear direction. And mind you, this is Dave Filoni's baby. Ahsoka is Dave Filoni's baby. There's a character that he created first when he joined Lucasfilm. So I would assume he's going to do everything in his power to make sure that this show is peak Star Wars. Everything in his force, if you will.
Another thing is little teases of lightsaber action. Look like there's lots of lightsabers in this show, something that's been lacking in some other Star Wars content, which is not a bad thing.
No.
But we all love a good lightsaber fight.
Yeah. And who doesn't?
And I think it gives me, especially right at the end with the Inquisitor and Ahsoka, it just the way it was framed, it kind of gives that Last Samurai type of vibe, which was heavy inspiration for a Season 2 Mandalorian episode when we're first introduced to Ahsoka. And I think we're going to get a little bit of that again.
I will say the villains look like they're strong. I feel like that's something that has also fell flat in some of the more recent stuff, is like not having a strong villain. I
assume that, everything I've heard and seen is this is kind of a continuation from the Rebels series. And so they've got that foundation there and those character dynamics that they can just build upon. And so I think right out of the gate, there's going to be some emotional depth for the actors to navigate in. So I think that's going to help. I just really hope that they don't make Thawne this intimidating character that's all he is.
World domination. That's all.
But, it's also Star Wars, and that's kind of the gist of it as well anyway, so.
But we want more complexity than that.
Yeah, complexity. Alright, so that's our reaction to the Ahsoka trailer. If you like these reaction videos, make sure to subscribe to Dude Reacts and Fellow Dude on YouTube. Until next time, guys, see you then. See you then.